Core, beginner one. Just want to remind you that as you are engaging your core, just because we know that our torso is really just a bladder, when we bring in our belly button to our spine, we're not just lifting up our shoulders and misplacing other objects in our torso. We're actually relaxing our shoulders, bringing our belly button to our spine, up and holding it while breathing. We do this all the time, every waking hour of our day. That's the goal. Don't forget. But while we're practicing this, while we're learning to do this, we're going to practice, first of all, breathing. While we're on our back, we have a slight pelvic tilt. Our back is flat against the mat. It will help encourage that core engagement. As you breathe out, you bring your belly button in. We're going to practice this 5 times. It's our core warm-up. Keep breathing while your belly button stays engaged. And as it's engaged, I want you to contract it now. Now you're going to kind of give it a hug. So the belly button comes in and contract. As you contract, as you hug it, that is now when you breathe out. Your belly button is already close to the spine, and you're going to breathe out and contract. We do 5 of those as well. You might feel a slight pelvic tilt when you do this, because what we're really essentially doing is shortening the area between our rib cage and our pelvic bone. But I don't want you to try to do that. That should happen on its own, involuntarily. The next thing we're going to be doing is scooches. While that's engaged, I want you to hold that. While breathing, I want you to scoot your feet along the bottom of the floor. If you're wearing socks, you should be able to drag your heel on the floor. Now these ones you're going to do for about 10 on each side. So 10 sets. If you put your fingers into your oblique area, that's your external and internal obliques, that's the muscles in your abdominal group responsible for that beautiful hourglass shape. They should be engaged. You should feel them moving. You should actually feel your core engaged this way. When we get to our 10, we're going to relax. Just for a few seconds. We're going to re-engage. We're going to go into our marches. You can have your marches down here, so you feel supported, pushing your back into your spine, coming up. Yes. Making sure to keep it nice and engaged. Oh. I usually have music in the background when I'm doing this in my classes, so I'm feeling a little awkward right now. Hi, Lisa. So these are our marches, engaging our core. As you get better, you can add the opposite arm to the knee switch. Again, keeping that back flat, no swaying. And then as you get more advanced, again, no swaying your back, keeping your back flat to the mat. All right, the next thing we're going to do is going to bring it up, and we're going to go bike fighting. Using our heels. As we get a little bit more advanced, we'll go reverse, engaging and triggering up our quads. And then a little bit more advanced is coming down without swaying your back. Level 1 is down here, level 2, level 3. I believe the last thing on our list for you was we have 2 more things. Crunches. One hand on your abdominal area. And this is just actually to help remind you not to pooch. We don't want to stick our belly out. We don't want to put any more undue pressure on the linear elbow. That's the connecting area of your rectus abdominis and the webbing of your core of your abdominals. Georgie, go downstairs, please. Then you can sit quietly. One hand here, one behind your back, just to support your back of your head. I don't want you to lift with your neck. If you're looking anywhere, you're looking at the tops of your knees. There's a space between your chin and your chest for your fist to fit in, or a little apple. Engaging that core, and you're come up, just shortening this area. Some people come straight up and do it. That's kind of some people just go straight to it. But you're just shortening this area. I don't want you to feel any pressure on your neck. Your neck does not even have to leave the ground, your head, sorry, for you to feel a crunch. We're going to go for 5 on one side, and then on the other side. Remember, don't pooch. Bring it in, fight it. Keep it in. You might want to also put your hand here and give a cough. That is the core area. That's the target. Wherever you felt that pressure, that's the area you want to contract. Also, you can think of a clock face, with the belly button being the center of the clock and numbers being around it. You want to bring in the numbers to the center of the clock. Going for 5, breathing out as you come up. Excellent. The last thing we're going to do is we're going to do bridges. Some people like to have their feet flat on the ground for beginner bridges. Some people can handle having their knees come closer, scooching their bum close as they can to their knees and lifting up. If you have tight hip flexors, you're going to feel this, but keep trying, not to pain, just for tension, so we can help stretch that area up, out. Okay, as you're up here, nice and high, you're going to engage your quads, hamstrings, glutes, adductors, abductors, and of course your core. And a lot of people feel a little nauseous when they first start doing this. Bring your belly button in to the spine and up and hold. This is when people feel a little sick. And it's essentially your transverse abdominis that's deep within your core, the sphincter muscle that's saying hello back to you. Coming down without touching and bring it up. Come on down and then bring it back up. We're going to go for 10. When you're done this, on your 10th one, I'd like you to hold it for 10 seconds. And when you're done, just give it a hug. I didn't do that full because I have a crowd of little girls coming to the room. Anyway, that is your core beginner one.